Hey, what's going on everybody? I'm Mohit, and as the channel name says, I'm here to turn up the heat on what it means to be an introvert. Listen, I'm putting one of these before every single video because I want you to understand that I'm an introvert. I get my energy from being alone, as most introverts do. That being said, that doesn't mean I don't love people. I love people. I love spending time with people, pushing the boundaries of what us introverts can achieve through those interactions. I'm building this channel as not just a resource, but a network of young, driven, introverted people who know they want to do more in life, who have a greater calling. Stay tuned for the end of this video where I go into a lot more detail on what you can expect from this channel, what I'm all about. Alright guys, so today we're going to talk a little bit about the importance of planning and organization in your personal life and how this can better help you with your business or with your job or whatever you're striving to do with your future. Once again, I believe that planning and organization is essential in every single person's life. If you can't control your own life, you're not going to be able to control a business. I'm glad that I picked up the skills to be organized and disciplined in terms of my organization very early on. I'm not perfect. I've messed a lot of things up. I forget a lot of things. That's perfectly normal once again, and that's why planning and organization is crucial, because you don't want to be normal. You want to be striving to improve one thing every single day. You want to do something a little bit better. We're going to go over some tips of how you can improve that organization within your life. You know, no matter what it is, whether it's money, whether it's your daily tasks, things that you have going on throughout the entire week, if you're a student, your classes, things like that. When you have all these resources that you're managing, you have employees, you have money, you have to coordinate with banks, angel investors, people that are critical to helping your business grow. How are you going to keep track of all that? You're not going to be able to do that up here, man. So if you can't control your spending or weird habits, your life will be a mess, both personally and financially. I know we all have these problems. Once again, I'm far from perfect. Whether you're drinking on the weekends or whether you're constantly buying food, or especially if you're young, there's so much we want to buy, and that's perfectly fine because we grow up in middle-class households. There's not much we can really do about that, man. Our parents teach us, okay, conserve so much that it all comes out once we start making a little bit of money, and that's perfectly fine. But this video will primarily talk about some ways to manage that as well. And that is something that you're going to have to keep under control, especially if you are going to start a business. You got to conserve resources, because if you go spend all the money that you just got investment on, that investor is never going to invest in you again. And finally, the one last important reason as to why it's important and critical to be organized is that it frees up your time, man. I mean, it frees up your time to spend with friends, with family, with the people you care about. And that's the most important thing about life. You don't want to be working for 60 years of your life, and that's the biggest thing. Being able to organize and manage your life, organize all your tasks, being able to delegate certain things to different people, especially when you have a business, that's critical, because then you're not taking up all the work. There's so many people out there who are self-employed, but they're not practicing these principles because they were never taught how. And that's the biggest thing, is that we as people need to enjoy being people. And if we can't do that if we're constantly being unorganized, if we don't know what's going on in our day, if we wake up being overwhelmed. And that's why organizing and planning is key. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started on some tips and tricks to planning and organizing your personal life. So the first thing you guys want to do is you want to create a budget. This is going to help you organize and plan your finances. A budget is critical. I'm going to write that up here, budget. The reason I think it's cool to have this whiteboard in the video is because it gives you guys a visual. Obviously I'll put videos or images, GIFs, whatever you guys want on the screen. However, I think it's really helpful to write stuff down, because at the end of the day, that's where you're going to remember things. Or you guys can also watch me write. But a budget can be done in so many ways. A lot of people, they'll go online, including myself at a point, they'll go online, they'll be like, how do I budget? As though there's one common answer. There is no answer. I mean, it's great to go online and look at various different ways of budgeting, but at the end of the day, you got to tailor it to whatever your expenses are. I can't tell you what your expenses are, but I know you can. It depends where you are in your life. If you're an adult, you're obviously going to have to worry about things like rent. If you have a house, you're going to have to worry about mortgage payments. You might have to worry about the loan on your car. These are critical, expensive things that you're going to have to manage. And if you're not writing this stuff down, if you're not allocating a certain portion of your income towards this, then there's going to be a serious problem. So with all that being said, speaking of income, I'm going to hope that all of you guys watching do have a job of some sort. It doesn't matter how many hours a week that is. Assuming you're young, if you're in college, not in college, it doesn't matter. I would hope that you guys have a job, because the first step towards building income is to have a job, so you can generate that income. So that's one big thing that you definitely want to keep track of. You want to keep track of your income, how much you're making every single week, and then how you're going to divide this up towards all of these payments. With that being said, you definitely want to also write down any subscriptions you might have. This marker, I was writing the wrong way, but you want to write down some subscriptions that you may have. Those are, once again, very important to keep track of, because these are things that you're getting charged every month, every year, things like that, and you'd be surprised how fast years actually go by. So that's where all this comes in useful, but you can't do that if you don't have your income. So the first thing you need to do, get a job if you don't already have, and once you have that job, once you're making money bi-weekly, weekly, whatever it is, you want to start delegating that money towards these specific areas right up here. Once again, I know this is a mess, but hopefully you guys are following along. You want to start delegating all that money towards making sure that you can cover all these payments, because if you can't cover these payments, you won't be able to cover business. You won't be able to add any more investment towards anything that you want to do on the side. Aside from organizing everything, what you also want is a calendar. Too many people, I go to Purdue University, as it says on my shirt. Too many people, not everybody, but a lot of people still memorize things up here, which is great. It's expanding those neurons or whatever you have up here. That's perfectly fine. But it doesn't matter what type of calendar this has to be. It could be an agenda. It could be something online. Like, I use Google Calendar, excellent resource, not endorsing them whatsoever. However, once again, I've used it for the past maybe 6 years of my life, and it's been a very helpful thing. So with all that being said, have a calendar, man. Either Google, you can go digital, you can have an agenda or planner, which most schools have them. If you're not going to school, just keep a planner in general. You can buy a lot of planners out there. Get something to manage your day, not only your day, but plan out your week. Every single week, or every single Sunday, sit down and look at exactly what you have coming up in the week, no matter what event it is, class, seminar, even like parties or gatherings, night at the bars, anything like that. You want to write those down. So this way you know exactly what you're going to be doing every week. You don't wake up being like, oh man, I have to do this, or especially if you have a part-time job, any of this stuff. All these things could add up, and one day it's going to overwhelm you. Another thing you guys want to do, in addition to the calendar, I know Google Calendar has this resource, and it's not always called this, but you want to keep a task list. This is exactly what it's called in Google. That's why I'm calling it that. But all that is a checklist. It doesn't even have to be a formal checklist, just a list that you can constantly delete stuff from, of things that you're getting done. This is very helpful, because day to day, obviously you don't just have classes, events, work, things like that to attend. You have things to do in all these things. You have homework, you have responsibilities to your parents, to the people you care about, all these sorts of things. Especially if you're a forgetful person, this definitely helps. I know I am, but once again, even if you're not, you want to write stuff down. You want to free your mind of all these small little things, and ultimately there is a balance. You don't want to do this like crazy for every single little thing, like sweep the floor, because ultimately your memory might suffer because of that. You do want to write down important tasks that you need to get done every day, and then you want to be checking stuff off of that. If say you have a couple bullet points right here, you want to make sure that you're actually getting things done. You're not moving them to the next day. So say this is Monday, this is Tuesday, you're not moving them to the next day. I could probably make a whole separate video on this. I love tasks, but I use this like crazy. It's a very, very effective way to manage everything that you're getting done, and to hold you accountable to make sure you're getting it done, because I think it's really cool to be able to see when you're actually checking some of these things off. Actually, there's a couple more things I want to talk about. I want you to stay organized in every aspect of your life. I have things written down here because I know these are ridiculous and even I wouldn't remember, but you want to keep your fridge organized. You want to keep your desktop computer organized, your desktop. You want all these icons on your desktop. You want to keep your backpack if you go to school. Even if you don't go to school, you probably carry a backpack or something, some sort of knapsack to work, lunch sack, whatever. You want to keep all these things organized, not just these 3 things, but every single random miscellaneous activity or area of your life. This is going to promote that organization mindset, because you're getting every single aspect of your life organized, getting your room organized, your kitchen, whatever. It's important to have things in a certain order, so this way you can find things easily. It saves you time, which time is a resource that we cannot get back. You can get money back, you can't get time back. So make sure that you're watching for those things. Keep your desktop organized, backpack organized, any of those sorts of things. These things are critical to being able to have that mindset, because if you're not doing it in your personal life, you're not going to do it with a calendar or task list or anything else that I just talked about. And then finally, the one last thing that I wanted to talk about, and this is essential, this has nothing to do with day-to-day organization, but this keeps you balanced in the long term. Goals. Never mind. Goals. This thing is the number one thing that you want to do. No matter what you do after you watch this video, I want you to go and open a document or take out a notebook or something, write your goals down. Write down exactly what you want to accomplish in your life. Life could be one of them. Write down exactly what you want to accomplish in your life. This thing is critical, so this way you're not waking up every day feeling depressed. You know, there's anxiety. I could make a whole separate video on this, on the state of the mental climate in America right now, because it's all because no one seems to have a purpose. They don't know why they're getting up to go to work every day, why they're making the money that they're making. They're blowing it all on the weekends at the bars, and that's perfectly fine. It's fine to have fun every now and then. However, once again, you want to have long-term goals that keep you focused, that keep you full of energy. And that's the biggest thing. You probably see me hopping around so much in this video because I'm full of energy, because I have goals, because I have my goals written down. I know what I want to do. You only need maybe 4 or 5, but you can definitely have more. Write down every single thing you want to accomplish, short term, long term. Say I want to go talk to this beautiful girl or something like that. You know, any sorts of goals are really important to keep your mind focused, to keep your body focused, and keep your energy focused. Awesome. So once again, guys, those are the few things that I just want to talk a little bit about. These are things that I know I implement in my life. I have to say that not everyone needs to do all this. You know, you need to do what's best for your life, what's best to keep your life organized. A lot of that stuff can definitely help, but you need to decide exactly how you want to accomplish, what you want to accomplish in life, and how you can get there, how you can keep your life organized and plan to actually get there. Again, I could make a whole separate video on goals, and I probably will, but the one thing I want you to take away is have goals, and then find the resources out there, calendar, task list, budget, things like that, to manage your personal life so you can then manage your business later down the line. All right, everybody, I hope you guys enjoyed this video as much as I did making it. You know, once again, this is just a small snippet of what to be expecting from me and this channel. You know, we're all just a bunch of introverted nerds just trying to find success and leave our footprint in the same way as our extroverted counterparts. You know, whether that looks like starting a business or just finding the right job. This channel is going to focus on providing a ton of professional and personal development contents for all of my fellow peers out there, people who are going to be the future leaders of the world. Let me just say that I'd love to have a conversation with each and every single one of you. So go ahead and subscribe and leave a comment down below. Share your success stories, your dreams, your goals. Let's talk about all of that. You know, this is what really pushes people forward. This is going to help build a community. At the end of the day, I can only share what my experiences have been thus far, but you guys have so many different experiences outside of that. I'm constantly learning and growing every single day, so I'll always have tons of ever-changing content on this channel to put out there. With all of that being said, thank you guys so much for all support that's been shown so far. As all of us introverts recognize, you know, a little support can really take people a long way, and that's what I really hope to be sending around as we work together to build this community. So with that, go ahead and subscribe, like, dislike even, follow, comment, and share around with your friends and family. Let's all work together to assemble the future leaders of tomorrow and get this movement going.